And yes, APC in 9 years has thrown Nigeria into bankruptcy, as the dailies reported that under 9 years, Nigeria has incurred 109 trillion. Oh my God. So this morning we'll be interviewing people to analyze and tell us how APC spend this money, perhaps if they have any reason, or perhaps they have seen any physical evidence on projects on what APC spend those money for. And then in another news yesterday, we heard that the southeastern governors met. We don't know if it's for real. Maybe they are pretending that they would seek for presidential pardon from the government on President Tinubu. So join me as I welcome Mr. Mike, a first-class political analyst of our time. Welcome, sir.
Many thanks.
All right, welcome. In other 9 years, APC took Nigerian debt from 12 trillion to 121 trillion, which simply means that under them, they have incurred over 104 trillion. This is unbelievable. Has there been any considerable improvement in the infrastructure? I mean, do justice to this.
Um, just as you have said, um, in about a year or thereabouts, that this present administration came into the saddle, they have plunged this nation. They have successfully plunged Nigeria into more debt, as we have, as we have just mentioned, which has not translated into any notable improvements in our economy generally. Uh, and I think it is very unfortunate. This is a clear departure from what the Tinubu administration promised Nigerians in terms of how it's going to revamp the economy. What we have seen so far is more debt, less of any meaningful development, and I think it is sad that we are talking about this level of mismanagement of our economy.
You know, under APC, under Buhari, the debt rose to around 90 trillion. But under Tinubu 1 year now, he has in 1 year incurred over 20 trillion. Don't you think that at the end of 4 years of Tinubu, we won't be in soup? Because Nigerians will be the one that pay for this.
I mean, obviously, we cannot continue to go in this direction. The handlers of Mr. President must probably sit him down and tell him the truth. This nation is not moving in the right direction, going by what we are seeing in terms of this abysmal level of borrowing that is yet to translate into any meaningful developments in our economy. I mean, the CBN governor from time to time talked about what they are doing, some of the monetary policies that they are putting in place, and all of that. But the truth is that all of these policies are not translating into meaningful development. I mean, look at the prices of things has gone off the roof, and an average Nigerian is struggling even to eat at the moment, and all of that. So don't also forget labor are clamoring for a living wage, and all of that is going on almost at the same time. You know what the Tinubu led administration promised was that as soon as the subsidy is removed, they will have enough money to revamp the economy and all of that. But we are not seeing that happening, and the borrowing kept increasing, and all of that. So in all of this, we must sit Mr. President down and tell him the truth that this nation is not going in the right direction, and the earlier we change the course of things, the better for the nation.
Okay, well, regarding the IPOD agitation, yesterday the Southeast governors they met, but then we are asking this question that Are they pretending about this issue or they are serious this time around?
In terms of if they are serious or pretending, I think it may be very difficult to establish that. But the good thing is that we are seeing uh, considerable step in that from that end of the country. There has always been step even before now, pockets of uh, comment in terms of how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released. But this time we are having a convergence of Southeastern governors coming together, planning to meet the president to also put some pressure on him to look in that direction. And I have always been an advocate of political solution to letting off Mazi Nnamdi Kanu off the hook from this endless incarceration. Uh, so I believe in political solution. I believe in the fact that they should look at how they can take things out of the court system and see what anybody wants is just peace. You can't be fighting on all fronts. Look at the way we have overstretched even our military guys are fighting in the east. I mean, a lot of insurgents going on in the northern part of the country and all of that. We have overstretched these guys, and I think if there could be ways we can look at settling things to douse some of the tension we are seeing even in the southeast. It takes nothing from the country. What we all want is peace, and don't also forget we can never be talking about peace without justice. Justice must not just be done; it must be seen. It must be visible that a clear justice is being done in every part of the country, and that is when we can continue to talk about having a peaceful nation. So it's a welcome development, in my view, that we're talking about looking at how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released, and I think it's a welcome development.
Okay, so one of our viewers here says, "Hi, Mr. Mike. Good morning. It's been a while. Southeast leaders are working towards the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The truth is that Fulani are still in control of Nigeria." So Mr. Nathaniel is greeting you.
Uh, uh, great greetings from you. Greetings to you as well, Mr. Nat.
So do you agree that the Fulanis are actually behind the incarceration of?
Again, that we may not be able to establish, and I don't just like talking about what I don't have facts about. But the truth is also that we have had so much power being expressed from the Fulani end, especially that became very obvious when during the last administration, when Buhari was in the saddle. A lot of things were being controlled from their end. The level of even his appointment shows that the Fulani guys were favored and all of that. So they are so much in charge. It is now that the present administration is trying to correct some of those anomalies, and I think he is also going in the direction that we criticize the Buhari administration for. It's not about having your kingsmen in key position. I think it should be more about capacity. It should be more about competence. It should be more about who can get the job done, and not necessarily about the people from my ethnic group. And I think that is my position.
Thank you for that wonderful submission, Mr. Mike. Good morning.
Many thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yes, Mr. Raphael. Mr. Raphael. Yes, thank you for joining us. If you're just joining, kindly like the program. As I welcome Mr. Ralph, one of our first-class political analysts on this channel. Mr. Ralph, good morning.
Good morning.
A quick one. Under 9 years, APC has incurred 104 trillion in form of debt.
That's debt.
When they came in 2015, Nigeria was owing 15 trillion or 16 trillion thereabouts. But under them, they have been able to take it to over 121 trillion under APC. Quickly, I don't know, have you seen anything tangible that they do with that money?
No, that money, nothing has been achieved. right from, I want to tell the whole world that from 2015 till date, APC government, has been busy reaping Nigerians, stealing public funds. See, let me tell you, from 2015 till date, there's no tangible achievements from Buhari administration that lasted for over 8 years. It expired last year. Buhari administration was 8 years last year. Nothing tangible has been done. Was done in the north, was done in the southeast, was done in the southwest. Buhari administration was on a spending trip for good 8 years. Each tenure that expired, the other tenure ensued or started, it was full of what? Spending, extravagant spending. Nobody could give accurate account what Buhari administration used trillions of naira on. They expended trillion on nothing. Embezzlement, brutal embezzled. Tinubu's wife embezzled. Do you know that if they start to unravel the amount of money in dollars that Buhari administration embezzled outside Nigeria to various banks, ranging from Magu, the former EFCC chairman or whatever, from Bogu, the former group managing director of Magu, I think Magu.
Yes.
Thank you. The former group managing director of this NNPC. I think it should be Baru, not Magu. Magu was EFCC chairman. Yeah. Baru was the GMA. Yes. If you see the amount of money these people kept in overseas, offshore banks, there was a time it was, it went viral on social media. We found out that Buhari's wife, Aisha Buhari, when he was absent in the country, was not in the country, was staying or living in Dubai. It was discovered, obviously, by this investigative journalism. They unraveled the amount that Aisha Buhari stacked in the bank over there in UAE. The same thing with Brutai. The same thing with Magu, the FCC chairman. The same thing with Buhari himself. The same thing with Yusuf, Buhari's son. The same thing with that his nephew that was, selling card now, which the nephew. Yeah. They were using to siphon money. Various accounts overseas. My brother, currently, Nigeria is owing over 200 trillion naira. Listen, the amount you gave me is wrong. What I saw yesterday, Obi was trying to analyze it that Tinubu administration was busy funding over 4 budgets at the same time. That it shouldn't be so. That funding of budgets should be done what? Gradually, systematically. It should be done bit by bit, segmented. You must divide it bit by bit. Fund this one, implement this one. You cannot just be implementing this 4 at a time.
Mr. Raphael, there was a revelation in the weekend that under Buhari, by 2016, that in one minister's house, they found 80 Mercedes-Benz Chacha Tierroba S-Class.
80.
And the man who found that was sacked by Malami. My question to you is, why is Tinubu not probing Buhari and Malami?
Tinubu is part and parcel of Buhari regime. See, Tinubu regime is Buhari regime. Tinubu regime is a continuum. That is continuation of Buhari regime. Corruption as well. So how do you expect Tinubu to probe Buhari? Well, you know that Buhari was the one that made him president. He made Buhari president in 2015. Buhari made him president last year, 2023. So 2 of them are based on same feather. The kind of money that Buhari regime looted in this country, and the Tinubu is not doing anything about it. You should know now that they are bed of same feather that flock together. If Tinubu does it, probe Buhari, Tinubu will be in suit. Because it's just like as well probing himself. Because they will open up. Most of those agencies occupied by APC stalwarts, rogues, they will open up, they will turn against him. So the best thing he should do now is to keep calm and loot his own. Looting is going on as I'm talking to you now. How could you be funding for good for budgets? Government expenditure on this, government expenditure on this, budgeted for this. This is budget. Let us fund this. Let's give this one so time. Let us give this one so time. But they are funding everything, implementing everything at the same time. Greg Obi said it can never all go well in this kind of economy of ours. Being that Nigerians are hungry, you don't implement budget like that. By me doing that, money will be what? Flying away from all corners. You can never investigate it. If budgets could be funded or implemented the way Tinubu administration is implementing currently.
Well, may God help us.
God will help us.
Now, while we are in the rainy season, last week Tinubu said he will recover Edo State. But a rain fell on Sunday and over 4,000 beavers machines were destroyed.
Yeah, it has gone viral on social media.
We don't know if
no,
it was Tinubu
listen and listen good. The offices of INEC in Edo State, they all have roof coverage on top. Those beavers are not outside. It is a common plan. Forget, it's a common balance to rig Edo election. Already, he has already promised APC stalwarts that is going to give them Edo State. Only this statement is enough to get him arrested if we are in an advanced society. But I know, of course, that Nigerian president is the most powerful president in the world. He said it out. The Edos that are being what apprehensive now that Tinubu is coming to rig election in Edo State. And let me tell you, I trust that state. You know what? They are the most resilient people we have in Nigeria. Resilient youth. If you want to see youths that want to die now, this one Kenyans are doing is just a child play. If you want to see people that want to die now, go to Benin, go to Edo State. You people will die. Now, see, they are waiting for Tinubu. I thank God that Tinubu made that statement. See, let me tell you, it is only three that had. They want to cut it down or kill it, and it stays because it can't move. But when human being has headache that is going to die, what? He will take off for his dear life. Edo people, they are preparing. They are waiting for APC, what? Juggernauts to come and rig election in Edo State come September this year.
Nathaniel Abu greets you. He says Southeast leaders
Nathaniel Abu now
are working hard. Do you
Yes.
believe that they are working towards the release of Nnamdi?
yeah, they are working. All hands on desk.
But the
and
Fulanis are still behind.
Fulani people, they have failed. See, these Fulani people, Abu, let me tell you, they are visitors. They are not part of us. I don't know, you Abu, you might be either from Delta State or Ichekiri. That's Asian. See, Abu, listen good. Fulani people are visitors in Nigeria. Igbos were living where they are for over how many years before Fulani started coming from the exits of Futajelo Island. They invaded all the Sahel countries of Western Africa, including northern Nigeria. Igbo has no business staying with Fulani. Biafra must go. We are not talking only Nnamdi Kanu's release. What we are looking forward is to see Biafra emancipate. Nnamdi Kanu's release is at hand now. It's achievable. It's already out. He is out. Nnamdi Kanu is out. So whatever Fulani hegemony lies they should be doing now, Nnamdi Kanu is out. They should go to what? Hell. Nnamdi Kanu is out. Whether Buhari, Malami, listen to this good, Gumi likes it or not, Nnamdi Kanu's freedom is here. United States of America, United Nations, and the other, platform that are holding the whole world together, they gave Tinubu 7 days. If you not had it, I read about it yesterday.
Thank you very much.
Releasing Nnamdi Kanu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ra, for that wonderful submission. Yes, Mr. Chinedu, welcome, sir.
Morning.
Yes, if you are just joining us, please kindly like this program. It helps us to go bigger and even stronger for more people to view us. This morning I have Mr. Chinedu here, a first-class political analyst. Mr. Chinedu, before we go to the issue of Southeast, let's talk about the debt that APC keeps, amassing. Just in 9 years, APC took Nigerian debt from 12 trillion. They've taken it to 121 trillion. Have you seen anything that they use that money for?
Yes, we need to understand how difficult it is. It's not bad for any government to go borrowing, but the fact is that when you are borrowing, what are you using the funds for? what are the things lined out that going to take up those funds. But here, in Nigeria, when they borrow money, they share it. They appropriate the money. They consume the money. They don't push the money into productivity. So that's one of the problems we have. One, two, the Nigeria is afraid. Nigerian leaders are afraid of carrying a proper reform, that can engineer domestic economic productivity. Once they're able to do that, apart from the money they share, the level of corruption up and down, Nigeria have the capital, the human resources, to engineer domestic production. In all local government, if those funds are being properly channeled. But you see, if we are not decisive, the IMF and World Bank policies will continue, to take a toll on Nigeria. Most of these policies are geared towards, rendering developing nations, on the floor.
But developing nations are the ones that go to IMF for money.
No, that is the problem. They are the ones that go to IMF for money. And the atmosphere of trying to tell you that you should devalue.
Then you shouldn't take the money.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Then you are there in their need of money.
So why are you paying IMF?
Like America. America is the greatest debtor and the greatest creditor in the world. But the judicious use of money that was borrowed is what has kept American economy solid till today. So because of excessive misappropriation, excessive looting, unaccountability, no transparency of government funds, they run into deficit always. And the other option they definitely have is to look for a way to run to IMF. And IMF is ready, to swallow at any point in time. And that is why we needed a system, a government, that can understand the powers of microeconomy, the power of how to grow, domestic economy, the power of how to work out, economic development in all the ramifications of the sector of the country. But that we are not seeing it. So the only thing is just to continue to borrow, and those borrowing they are doing, there is no proper accountability. But at the end of the day, the money disappears. That's why you see them. Most of them are excessively rich.
Mr. Chinedu, Nathaniel Abu says that he has one evidence to show where the money is being spent. He said yesterday, Wike displayed a Versace. Nathaniel Abu, he said yesterday, Wike displayed a Versace from up to down, what 6 million naira. I mean, is that not an achievement?
Mr. Niyi, in the course of trying to push this platform to enviable heights, discuss issues like this, you get to a level in the media where you start having access close to these people in leadership. Then you discover, how reckless they are financially.
And we see it. But
no, you see it. The media knows that. The media know that this thing you are wearing is not ordinary. It's worth over 500 million. But to an ordinary man, he might not notice it. You can see it was being alleged that somebody, a governor, a serving governor of a state in Nigeria, wore a watch worth 195 million. Okay, go closer to them. You see the kind of luxury,
Luxurious life.
they are attached to, and they come out and tell you that Nigerians are corrupt, Nigerians are suffering, there's no unity, we'll do everything, and they are looting. Bros, what is he called? Ruto
Ruto in Kenya.
from Kenya. He nearly messed up. He wanted to become very funny. That is the African man for you. But you know what? The youth said, if you go beyond this, how can you tax bread? Bread. If you go beyond, we will deal with you.
But our own leaders are doing more than that.
No, we are doing more than that.
Bros,
Our own leaders are doing more than that. Our Nigerian youth they are sleeping.
Be prepared for a bloody revolution in Nigeria.
No, Nigerian own will be bloody.
Bros, I am talking to you now. Be ready. Be counting days for a massive. Everything about Nigeria is going to be changed.
Yes. One day, Nigeria must change.
Well, I'm telling you. You see, well, there will be no in this kind of revolution. There will be no leader.
Nobody will lead it to.
Nobody will be head at the point. Both the military and the army will join.
We join.
Is this not anarchy?
Bro, you don't. That's what I'm telling you, because to an extent, Nigeria has become a nation of ridicule among African countries.
I don't want to ask you this, but I'm tempted. So why are you not queuing behind Showore?
Niyi, these are the people who don't need them. No. So nobody led answers.
At all. You can't say this is the person.
You can't say that this is the person that led answers. If he was able to sustain revolution now, sustain it, bro, not all this kind of thing, you know, that is not look like it's really ragtag. But look at the answers. Nobody can be held responsible. Say, this is the leader of answers. This is that. No. It came when it came to tell you that there are revolutionaries in Nigeria. No, there are. They are watching. This thing is getting to a point, you know, where both the father, the mama, everybody, papa, everybody is going to march to the street, and we will not experience these old cargoes again.
All the revolutionaries that I know have been bought over by people.
No, they are. Okay, let me tell you, they are not revolutionaries.
And there's a rumor now that.
Me. If you want to talk about revolutionaries, if you want to talk about the future of Nigeria,
there is an option now for Nnamdi Kanu. You will be released, provided you give us people votes. I mean, and shortly afterwards, the Southeast governors are going to offer that deal to Tinubu, because they met yesterday that they will beg Tinubu for a release. I mean, if Nnamdi Kanu, I'm not saying he will go, but I think he's already going into negotiations. Don't you think that we've lost hope?
That's a very interesting question. I will respond to that. You know, let me just explain to you that where you see Nnamdi Kanu is today is controlling those governors.
Yeah.
That is number one.
He's controlling the government.
Nnamdi Kanu is controlling everybody, whether you are in the, anywhere you find yourself, you're the governor, you are a senator, you are whatever you are, all your constituents, all your constituencies, all the local government, all the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu is controlling them, including governors, Bro, listen to me.
Are you not being delusional?
Bro, it's not. Bro, I'm telling you, okay. This is not a matter of sentiment.
Okay, go ahead.
There is no governor today that is not under the control of Nnamdi Kanu. Do you know what? They tested their popularity, it didn't work. They are queuing behind the philosophy of what is already on ground. You see, the Southeast governors, the consciousness of having a particular meeting is not about having Igbo votes. Igbos know what to do when it comes to the era of electioneering. We do not need a governor. We are not Baba Sobe tribe. We don't need a governor to tell us that this is where you are going.
Yes.
We decide But when they tell you say Igbo Nweleze, who don't know Igbo Nweleze? Igbo Nweleze, Igbo get king.
Oga will get king.
No, to be honest with you. But that king must know that his subjects are not walking stick. So if you are linking election, Nnamdi Kanu's release to election to vote, bros, I don't think that is too right. Because you might not understand the kind of thing that is being playing out currently now. The Southeast governors, whether they are negotiating with Buhari, whether Tinubu, whatever thing they are doing, the most important thing is that at the end of the day, they should be seen as people who have the mandate to represent that zone in the Nigerian situation. Don't push. Don't let, it's not quite understandable when you say that Nnamdi Kanu is going in for negotiation. Nnamdi Kanu is not going in for any negotiation. It is the federal government that are pushing and are going in, for negotiation, because a lot of people are asking questions now. That Nnamdi Kanu is not just about the eastern part of the country; it is not about the western part of the country, and of course the northern part of the country. You can see Nnamdi Kanu has become a rallying point now.
More like a prophet whose words are coming true. Nathaniel Abu says that at the moment, Nnamdi Kanu is the only person Southeast can listen to.
Nathaniel, you are not far from the truth. But why are you compromising this thing?
I'm not compromising.
No, it's what I'm telling you. Nobody. It controls both the governors. It controls both anything you see there in the east. Nnamdi Kanu controls it down to the goat animals in the east.
That's an exaggeration.
But I am telling you, it's not a matter of exaggeration. I'm telling you, thank God Abu has confirmed it. The next person, I think that Abu is a reasonable human being. He's somebody that listens, that sees. And he's not somebody, he said the next person should be. God, you see this guy. The only person that is having small sympathy now is Dr. Alex Oti of Abia State. With all the potential so far, still in that state, Nnamdi Kanu's word is law and order.
Thank you very much for that wonderful submission. Yes, Mr. Chief. All right, viewers, thank you for joining us. And that's it. It was a rainy day. In fact, Nigeria, we've had about 4 hours non-stop rain since about 5 a.m. But we promise and we deliver that we are going to come out here and give you guys the news, as it were. Nigeria, I don't know what to say about Nigerian people. Yeah, because Nigerian people, we are so docile. I haven't seen the example the Kenyans have made. I mean, we saw what Wike is doing with our money. Yet we can't still react. But instead we will rather pray. For how long are we going to keep praying, Nigerians? I ask you. Abu, I ask you. Ubong, I ask you. For how long shall we keep praying? Right? Yesterday in Ghana, the parliamentarians were scared. They asked their people. They asked their people that we are scared, we don't want to get beaten because parliamentarians in Kenya got beaten for passing bad laws. Nigerians, when will you start taking your own parliamentarians seriously? Anyways, we've come to the end of today's program. Please kindly subscribe, share, and like this program. It will help us to grow even further. For now, we'll say bye to you. See you tomorrow. Thank you for joining.